I'm Tony Silver. I'm the Vice Chairman of the Planning and Zoning Commission. I am calling the regular meeting of Wednesday, September 16th, 2020 to order. I am acting as chairman on behalf of the chairman, Fred Garrity, who is not going to be at this meeting. So I will start by, we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance and go from there. So Dave Prush, you want to lead us in the pledge?
Certainly. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we'll do the roll. We'll call the roll, and I'll just go clockwise. Tony D'Aquila. You're muted, Tone.
Present.
Thank you. David Prush, you're here. You don't have to say present again. Larry LeConte.
Here.
Tony Corey.
Here.
Don Cinto.
Like he's muted.
Yeah.
Bill, how does Don unmute his phone?
It should be *6 on his phone.
All right. Well, we'll continue, and we can get Don in when he can get on. With Chairman Garrity out, Commissioner Prush will be acting as a voting member for tonight's meeting on behalf of Commissioner Garrity. At this point, I want to turn it over to the town attorney, Jim Cordone, who will read a few relevant and pertinent legal notes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just for the record, tonight's is the September 16th regular meeting of the Trumbull Planning and Zoning Commission. The meeting is being conducted pursuant to the Governor's Executive Orders 7B and 7I by video conference and teleconference over the internet and/or the telephone. Materials for all applications were posted on the website 24 hours in advance of the meeting. I would ask all commissioners and participants to please remember to identify yourself prior to speaking for the benefit of those who might be listening only by telephone. I would ask the chairman to make sure that all votes are conducted by roll call vote. Finally, I advise all parties to this meeting that it is being recorded. Thank you, Chairman Silver.
Thank you, Attorney Cordone. So what we'll do this meeting is a typical process for the Planning and Zoning Commission. We will take up each of the agenda items tonight in sequence, and we will try to have the discussion, the hearing, the staff report, all those elements for each application in sequence, including the voting. So after we discuss each item, and effectively it's a couple of in-law apartments and some other modifications in prior approvals. So hopefully they'll be straightforward, but that's the way we'll do it. So we'll address each application, vote on that application, and then move on to the next one. So first on the agenda is an application for a special permit to establish an 835 square foot accessory apartment in Residence Zone 2 pursuant to Article 2, Section 1.2.2.7 of the zoning regulations. It's at 54 Cricket Lane, and the applicant is Elizabeth Constante, and I think she's here.
I'm here.
Okay, good. So what we'll do then is we'll read the basic application, then we'll ask the staff to make a presentation on it, and then Elizabeth will ask you to talk about it, and then we'll open it up to the public. So Rob Lebrandi.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chairman. So The applicant is 54 Cricket Lane. They're proposing a 2-bedroom, 835 square foot in-law apartment. The total percentage of that apartment is 27.5%, which is below the 30% requirement. There is enough parking. It is a single-family zone. The proposed addition is going to connect to an existing porch. That porch is going to be enclosed as well too. So it's going to be heated and considered living space as well too. So if you do look at that addition on the plans that were submitted, there's no way this will be visible from the street. The only difference really is that this is a 2-bedroom, but we've had 2-bedroom accessory apartments in the past, and they still meet the percentage requirements. So all the requirements and the regulations seem to fit. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lebrandi. And now, Ms. Constante, do you want to just talk about your application and take us through it?
Yes. This in-law setup is going to be for my parents. They're elderly. My dad is disabled. My mom recently recovered from cancer. So now with the COVID-19, I prefer to have them close to my home. They actually sold their property, so we're going to be hopefully building the addition shortly.
Okay, thank you. And let's, if that's the extent of what your presentation, then we're going to turn it over to the commission, and we'll go around the table, so to speak, and we'll ask each commissioner if they have any questions, any observations, knowing that the town planner just told us this meets the criteria of the zoning regulations in every respect. So we'll start with Commissioner D'Aquila.
Mr. Chairman, I have no questions.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Prush.
I don't have any questions, really, no.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner LeConte.
No questions.
Commissioner Corey.
No questions.
Thank you. And I don't have anything off the top either, so.
Through the chair.
Yes.
If
Bill,
If
I'm
this-
sorry, yes.
if this is approved, that they'll have to show compliance with our stormwater regulation.
All right, so we should make that part of the approval then.
Yes.
All right, at this point, I will open it to public comment, and we can start with anybody who wants to speak in favor of this application.
If there are any members of the public who would like to speak, just use the raise hand feature at the bottom of your screen. If you're on the phone, please press *9.
And as a reminder, if any members of the public do speak, please state your name and address for the record.
Mr. Chairman, there doesn't appear to be anybody who wishes to speak at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Chin. So I'll entertain a motion to close this application.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. And that's
Lawrence McCarthy.
okay. And a second from Commissioner D'Aquila.
Yes.
Okay. With that having been done, we'll do a vote, and we'll do a roll call vote. So, and we'll start with Commissioner D'Aquila.
Yes.
Commissioner Prush.
Yes,
Commissioner LeConte.
Yes.
Commissioner Corey.
Yes.
And Commissioner Vice Chairman Silver, I am a yes as well. So that's it. It's unanimous and it's approved.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
should we make sure there's
Oh, yes. Yeah. I'm sorry.
water management?
In compliance, forgive me. Attorney Cordone, do we need to redo this as a result of not having said that?
I think we just closed the public hearing and now we need a motion to approve
Okay, so motion to approve.
with the
Nope.
condition that it
With the
complies with
condition.
stormwater management.
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Commissioner LeConte. Second? Commissioner D'Aquila, Commissioner Corey seconds it. Now, roll call vote on the approving of the application.
Again, Mr. Chairman, should we say it has to be in compliance with stormwater management?
Yeah, I think we said that, but yes, thank you for the reminder. In compliance, motion to approve in compliance
With the condition of.
with the condition of complying with stormwater regulations.
Thank you.
So I think we're good with that language in the motion. So we'll go around the room for a roll call. Commissioner D'Aquila.
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Prush.
Yes.
Commissioner LaConte.
Yes.
Commissioner Corey.
Yes.
And Commissioner Vice Chairman Silver. I'm a yes as well. So that is approved. Now we're approved. I'm sorry. That was for closing the hearing. All right, good. Congratulations. All right, next application is also an application for a accessory apartment. It's for 225 Strobel Road. The application is to establish a 550 square foot, one bedroom accessory apartment in the Residence A zone pursuant to Article 2, Section 1.2.2.7 of the zoning regulations. And this application is from Jennifer Morawski. I think I had that right, Morawski, right? Jennifer, are you here? Somebody representing Jennifer?
I see her.
I see here, yeah.
Sure.
Must be muted.
No, she's not muted.
It
Frozen.
looks like she's frozen.
Looks like she's frozen, yeah.
All right.
All right, well, let's, hopefully we'll get her back in a second, but in the meantime, we can do the staff report. So Town Planner, Rob Lebrandi.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chairman. So the applicant is requesting an accessory apartment, one bedroom in a residential zone. The total square footage of the accessory apartment is 550 square feet. It's a total of 22%, where 30% is required, a max. It meets all the requirements. All that we would ask is that they make sure that the breezeway between the two structures is heated living space. And I think I spoke to the applicant and she agreed.
I'm sorry, it's what, Rob?
Heated living space.
Okay.
So there's no real separation. It's all one. And this actual dwelling is already existing in the structure. I believe it's above the garage. So there's no modification to the structure itself or any aesthetic changes.
Okay. And let's go to the town engineer, Bill Mauer.
No comments at this time.
Not the same condition of meeting.
No, because there's no increase in coverage.
All right, well, thank you. And I think Jennifer is back with us. You're muted, perhaps?
Doesn't show it.
Doesn't show mute, but yeah.
And she's not moving.
She's speaking, but we're not hearing. I'm not hearing.
I see her on the bottom. She's in two. She's on the bottom.
Yeah, yeah. We just.
I got
can't
two
hear.
pictures of her on my screen. Jennifer, can you hear us?
So she
We
said
can't hear
yes.
you. Chairman?
Yeah. Maybe we should move on and
Move on
go
and
back
come
to
back
this.
to her.
Mr.
Yeah.
Chairman, if you look at the application, it is an accessory apartment for her mother. So this is relative living there, which you would probably discuss.
Sorry, Rob, she'll what?
Well, this, if you look at her application, this is an accessory apartment for her mother.
Right?
So I think this is probably what she wanted to state on the record.
Okay. All
I
right.
think we could proceed, Mr. Chairman.
I'm inclined to think so as well. Attorney Cordone, is there any issue with not hearing from the applicant?
Well, let's see how it goes. I think we're okay at the moment. So why don't you proceed, Mr. Silver?
All right. So we've heard the town planner indicate that everything is in compliance with the accessory apartment regulations for the town. We've heard the engineer indicate no concerns. And so at this point, let's open it up to the public and ask if there are any folks here to speak in favor or opposed to this application. And as our town technical wizard, Bill Chin, said, you have to push there's a button where you can raise your hand and indicate that you want to speak. And if there is anybody, remember to state your name and address for the record. Anybody there, Bill?
There doesn't appear to be anybody who wishes to speak.
All right. I'm sort of out of sequence here. Any concerns or comments from the commissioners? Commissioner D'Aquila.
No comments.
Thank you, Commissioner Prush.
Yeah, just so we're clear here, is that these drawings are somewhat diagrammatic. Did I hear that this was above the garage that is attached to the house by a breezeway?
That's what I heard. Rob LeBlanc.
On one of these sheets, I see a 3-car garage on the top right with 3 cars in front of it. And then to the lower left of the garage, I see a plan of the apartment. But can we assume that that's where the garage is and the breezeway connects the house with the garage? And you go up a stair or something, or what's?
Rob, can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman. I don't think it's above the garage. I think it's its own structure. There is a breezeway in between there, but I think it's unheated. It's just a walkthrough from one structure to the other. So that's why staff is requesting that they make that a heated living area.
So this is an addition, in other words. This is like an addition, or is the structure there and they're fitting out the interior?
The home is, I believe it was built. It's fairly old structure. It's on Strobel Road. It's one of the older homes there. It's like a farm style house that's been there for a very long time.
Okay. No, there's a structure next to the house. They're converting, it looks like, into an apartment.
Yes, it was existing living space.
Because, yeah, it looks like there's a very, very narrow alley, you know, for whatever that's worth. But I think Rob's right, that breezeway needs to be enclosed space. Otherwise, it's technically a second dwelling unit on the property.
Dave, I'm
Unless
sorry.
our regulations don't call it that, do it that way, but.
Yeah, well, we can address that with the approval or with the vote. Is Jennifer Morawski on? Because a lot of static and noise here, and I'm thinking that might be her. Bill, who is it that we have to mute there because it's hard to concentrate?
See Jennifer on the bottom.
Yeah, she's trying to speak.
I know she's trying to.
Does anybody hear me?
We can hear you now.
Oh my gosh.
We can't see you, but we can
We
hear
can hear
you.
now. Yeah, we can hear.
Hi.
Yeah, that might not,
Okay,
but we can try.
I'll just clarify that it is in fact a pre-existing. I'll just Yeah, this is terrible audio. Yeah, this is terrible.
Okay, so clarify what you can as quickly as you can, and we can move forward.
The breezeway is already existing and it is in fact heated. Already existing and it is in fact heated. In fact heated.
So, yeah, so it's an enclosed breezeway. It's heated, obviously. Okay.
All right, then it sounds like, Rob, that we do not have to make that condition part of the approval. Or should we?
No, it's all attached. I mean, it's all enclosed. It's a contiguous structure, so I don't think it has to be a condition. It's already there.
Mr. Chairman, I could show you, I could share my screen and show a picture of it if you'd like. Have it
That
on
would
the-
be great if you would. That would be great.
You see it? You see that?
No,
No. Now we got it.
there
Now
we
we
go.
do. Yep.
Now we got it.
Got it.
Yeah, so it looks like, sort of looks like it fits right in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should I stop sharing or?
Yeah, stop sharing. We can go back. And Ms. Morowski, you can, if you would mute everything, I think you might have two devices going at this point, and that
Oh,
might-
is that why?
That might be why. So that would be great. All right, so once again, let's just make sure that the commissioners understand what's going on and that there are no outstanding questions. Commissioner Cruz said one. We'll go back to Commissioner DeQuilla. Are you okay with everything now?
I'm okay.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner LeConte,
Okay,
Commissioner Corey.
Okay,
Thank you. And we had no comment from the public. So at this time, I will entertain a motion to close the public hearing. on this
motion to close.
application. A motion from Commissioner, I think seconded by Commissioner DeQuilla. Is that right?
Yes, second.
Thank you. Yeah, just let's try and make this all voice oriented. So there's no, there's no lack of clarity. All right, so we have a motion and a second to close the hearing, and we'll go around the same way with a voice vote. Commissioner DeQuilla.
DeQuilla votes yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Prush.
Bruce votes yes.
Commissioner LeConte.
LaCanti votes yes.
Commissioner Corey.
Corey votes yes.
Commissioner Silver votes yes, so we've closed the public hearing. At this point, I'll entertain a motion to approve the application as indicated.
Motion to approve the application as amended.
I don't think we amended it,
Oh.
Commissioner
No,
LeConte. So, all right. Second?
second. DeQuilla.
Seconded by DeQuilla, Commissioner DeQuilla. We'll do a vote. Commissioner DeQuilla.
DeQuilla says yes.
Commissioner Prush.
Bruce says yes.
Commissioner LeConte.
Yes,
Commissioner Corey.
Yes.
And Commissioner Vice Chairman Silver, I also say yes. So this application is approved. All right. Thank you. Next, we have the applicant Make-A-Wish Foundation of Connecticut is requesting a modification of their approved special permit at 56 Commerce Drive, a site plan to remove 9 parking spaces on the west side of the main parking lot pursuant to Article 2, Section 4.3, and Article 15 of the Town of Trumbull zoning regulations. We will start with a staff report and then we will go to the applicant, Town Planner LaBrandy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I really didn't make a staff report on this application. It's sort of a minor modification of everything that this application was previously approved for. It was approved November of 2019. What they're coming from the commission is a reduction of their parking spaces from I believe 52 spaces to 41. Wait, I'm sorry,
11.
52 are proposed, 41 are required. So there's a nine spaces they're requesting to have removed. Again, this is minor modification. The requested parking spaces are fairly far from the building. And that's pretty much it.
All right, Town Engineer Bill Mauer, anything?
No, it's an insignificant change.
Thank you, sir. Now we can hear from the applicant. Who's representing the applicant?
Good evening, commissioners. This is Sarah Sharp, 147 North Broad Street. I'm here on behalf of Make-A-Wish. Just to clarify the limited scope of this application, the approved site plan had 61 spaces, which was well in excess of the 41 that are required. we're reducing the parking spaces by 9 to 52 spaces, which is again still 11 more spaces than are required under the regulations. And this will allow us to reduce the impervious surface area on the site and have less site disturbance overall. These are 9 spaces that have not yet been built. And I have 3 members of the team here with me tonight. I have Kim Pugh from Make-A-Wish, our civil engineer, Joe Lenahan, and our architect, Thomas Cross, in case there are any questions for you guys. And we're happy to answer any questions you guys have.
Well, thank you. The first question, and maybe the primary one, maybe the only one, is why are you doing it?
We want to remove the parking spaces because it will allow us to stay within the confines of the existing parking lot, and it will, as a result, save us quite a lot of money, and that will just allow us to put more money towards, you know, Make-A-Wish's purpose of helping kids, and every dollar counts, especially right now.
Right. And is there any scenario that you can think of where, you know, those spaces might for some reason be needed?
No, the only time that there is a need for even close to the amount of parking spaces that we have, the 52 spaces, might be when there's an event, and events only occur typically off hours. So either when it's not a working day on the weekend or after hours in the evenings. And Make-A-Wish has a great relationship with the other tenants in the area and have been able to use their parking spaces when their own parking lot has been under construction, and there's plenty of parking overall. So there's no concern that we would ever need these 9 spaces.
Thank you. Let's ask the rest of the commission what they think. Commissioner D'Aquila.
D'Aquila says I'm satisfied.
Commissioner Prush.
Yeah, I have no questions. I'd rather see the space left as green space and not blacktop, especially since they still meet the parking requirements.
And just to clarify, that will stay as green space?
It will stay as it is, yes.
Thank you. Commissioner LeConte? I think you're muted.
No questions.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Corey.
I just have a question. If you look at the map, is it the ones that are like dotted in that are being removed?
Yes, I believe that's correct.
Okay. And what about those 5 spaces along the other side of the road? They're going in? There's like 12 in a row that are being removed that are dotted in. I guess the other ones are still going in.
I'm gonna have Joe answer that question for you because he has the plans in front of him.
Hello, this is Joseph Lenahan, professional engineer with Fuss & O'Neill, 56 Quarry Road, Trumbull. If you're looking at the site plan, the area that's clouded, that is the area where the 9 parking spaces were proposed that we are no longer proposing. The dotted area actually indicates an area that we're doing some pavement repair, replacement that's in front of the main entrance for Make-A-Wish. And those spaces are along the front there, those 12 spaces, as well as the 5 spaces with the accessible parking are to remain. And that is per previous approval.
So the clouded area doesn't show any spaces, but that's where they were supposed to go? In that clouded area?
It is clouded because it has been removed from the plan.
Oh, okay.
Is that AL1, drawing AL1 here, or which one is that?
CS 101.
Okay, thank you. That's the only question I had.
Give me a second. I want to see the. Okay, so we have, it's basically a small modification, and it meets the town of Trumbull's zoning regulations. So at this point, I will entertain a motion to close. Well, actually, let me back up. Let's hear from the public. Are there anybody from the public to speak in favor or in opposition to this application? Bill Chin, do we have anybody?
Doesn't appear that anyone is raising their hand at this time.
All righty then. At this point, I will ask for a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
So moved by Commissioner Corey,
Second.
seconded by Commissioner LaConte. And so we'll vote. Commissioner DeQuilla,
DeQuilla votes yes.
yes to close. Commissioner Prush,
Prush votes yes.
Commissioner LaConte,
Yes.
Commissioner Corey,
Yes.
and Commissioner Silver, me, I vote yes to close the hearing as well. And having closed the hearing, let's ask for a motion to vote on the application. So
Make a motion to approve.
motion to approve from Commissioner Corey, second by Commissioner LaConte. Commissioner DeQuilla,
DeQuilla votes yes.
Commissioner Prush,
Prush votes yes.
Commissioner LaConte,
Yes.
Commissioner Corey,
Yes.
and Commissioner Silver, I vote yes as well. So it carries 5-0, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming to the board.
Thank you very much.
Okay, next up we have, everybody good? Next up we have an application from 7120 Main Street. That's Amazon.com Services LLC requesting a special permit with a site plan to modify the parking area and the traffic flow as previously approved in December of last year pursuant to Article 2, Section 4.2, and Article 15 of the zoning regulations. Let's start with the town planner, Rob Lebrandi, please.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chairman. The application for Amazon today did go through, was in front of this commission in December of 2019, as stated. They did recently go in front of the police commission on September 8th and received a positive referral from the commission. At that time, they made some modifications to the plans, which the commissioners received electronically. The major modifications that were made were to the entrances to the vans were being reversed into the building, and there was modifications made to the direction of where the vans were allowed to go. Were they allowed to go onto Main Street or Spring Hill Road, which the applicant can discuss as well too. Other than that, no physical changes were made to the site. It's just, I believe, just flow and traffic congestion issues. But I believe that the modifications they've made have probably are a benefit to a reduction in congestion, which the applicant, and I know Mike Dion is here too to discuss that as well.
Thank you, Mr. Lebrandi. Town Engineer Bill Mauer.
Yes, I believe this is an improvement. Like Rob said, this went before the police commission and they agreed that the
Thanks,
traffic
Bill.
flow was better.
Thanks. And I think we have Attorney Rizzio here to represent the applicant, and we'd love to have you take us through it.
Chairman, members of the commission, Raymond Rizzio representing Amazon with regard to the property at 7120 Main Street. Happy to be before you tonight. I'll try and keep it brief and short because I don't want to repeat everything Bill and Rob had to say. But if you give you a quick overview, if we look at the site plan, what you'll basically see, and Mike Dion, who's our traffic expert, who if you have specific questions, and so is Jeff Dewey is on this call. But I'm thinking it's really actually a pretty simple application that has been improved by some suggestions by the police department, and I think you'll find this actually just a betterment of an improvement over already an existing approved plan. So if I can get Chris Russo or Rob to put the current, what our proposal is, I'll explain to you what's happened.
That's way better. The kitchen table is not the best place to look at these drawings. But,
There we go. So this is our proposed plan. Okay, so what the original plan had same thing. If you look at the top of your schedule, you'll see a yellow area. That's where all of our managers, our employees come in and out, and that really hasn't changed. Then if you look toward the bottom, the green, The green has been reversed. What used to happen is all the traffic would come in off Spring Hill Road. It would proceed, they would make a left-hand turn, proceed through the site from the front of the building and exit the left onto Spring Hill Road. Operationally, what we found is it created a log jam on site, because what would happen is as you entered the road, as you entered off the Spring Hill Road, the Sprinter vans would have to make a left down the lower section. They would have to make a left in front of the existing traffic and then go through the front of the building and come out the rear. And there would always be, in effect, a crisscrossing procedure that would have to happen. And it almost got to be, we'd almost would have needed a signal on site where that traffic flow crosses each other. What we've decided to do, and what's before you tonight, if we can show that, it's coming up right now, is now the traffic will come in off Spring Hill Road. They will continue, go through the rear of the building. They won't have to cross in front of anyone, come out the front of the building, proceed back through Spring Hill Road. We'll be able to take some of this was an improvement, we think, by the Police Commission, allow some of the vans that are going north on Route 25 to make a right turn only to go north on Route 25. The ones that are going either, let's call it east to Monroe Turnpike or west and then south on Route 25 can just proceed to Spring Hill Road without internally crisscrossing any traffic, come out, make a right or a left on Spring Hill Road, and then proceed either east toward Monroe Turnpike, west toward Main Street, and then people will be able to make their left-hand turn at the light on Spring Hill Road. No changes to the floor plans, no changes or additional square footage, merely an interior traffic maneuvering. It's merely to correct interior traffic maneuvering so that there are no conflicts on site. The big improvement and the big request by the Police Commission, which we granted and is now before you tonight, is that that coming out on that southern entrance on Main Street is right turn only. The only people that'll be able to make a left-hand turn onto Main Street are our employees and managers who will only park in that northbound, on that north side of the property. And that's a pretty quick overall. The big trucks that come in and make deliveries will come in and off Spring Hill Road, just like they did before. They'll come in, they'll pull in off Spring Hill Road, they'll proceed into the site, they will go forward, then back up onto the loading docks, let off all the materials that's gonna be delivered. It'll all be assembled or put together for delivery inside and then picked up by the Sprinter vans, who will then proceed out either only northbound on Route 25 or south and eastbound on Spring Hill Road. Like I said, it takes away all conflicting traffic on site. We think it's a huge improvement. Police Commission thought it was a huge improvement. And Rob thought, even though there was no additional square footage, even though that there were no real material changes to the site plan, we wanted to get the blessing of the P&Z for this change. I'd be happy to answer any questions. Mike Dion, our traffic expert, is here, but as you can see, it's pretty much self-explanatory, makes a lot of common sense. And sometimes these things, until you actually get into using the site, do you realize, how these internal conflicts can hurt operations. So we believe this is, correcting something that we didn't envision in our original planning. I'd be happy to answer any questions. Mike Dion would be happy to answer any questions. But like I said, this has gone through your traffic, in effect, your Police Commission, which is your traffic authority. They made a condition of right turn only on that lower entrance on Main Street, and we've agreed to that as a condition of approval, and that's the way it's shown on the map. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Attorney Rizzio. So I have two quick ones. One, the trucks, I presume those are the red arrows.
Yes.
Do they retain that same cross? It looks like they do retain that same sort of crisscross point right there at the entrance. Or
Not really. What happens is they will just come circulate directly really along the back property line, pull up, back into the loading dock, and then leave along the same driveway and out onto Spring Hill Road.
And those
Yeah.
are at different hours too.
And the hours are at different times. So
That's what I was thinking, this part. Yeah, so go ahead, Rob.
So that the hours are staggered so that the truck deliveries will be off peak hours. The on-peak hours for the vans, and if you'll notice, the most we can get is 2 or 3 trucks, expect is 2 or 3 trucks at a time, which will allow, the 3 trucks will bring enough material probably to service 20 vans. So they come in, they get unloaded, and they leave, and they don't come in and out all day long like the Sprinter vans.
Thank you. And the other question I had is at the top of the plan there, was there any change to the employee
None.
egress? So we already approved that, so that's not really.
That's already approved.
Yeah.
What you're approving is basically a beneficial restriction of the entrance exit off onto Main Street becoming right turn only, so none of these Sprinter vans will be able to make a left out of our site onto Main Street. They'll have to go to Spring Hill Road where the light's controlled, and we're eliminating the crisscrossing down below where the entrance to Spring Hill Road is. Everything else, the big trucks, the employees, and the personnel, which is also in yellow, all remains the same, which has already been approved.
Thank you, Attorney Rizzio. So let's ask the other commissioners what they think, starting with Commissioner D'Aquila.
I'm very pleased with what the applicant is proposing here. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Prush.
I have no questions. Think it looks good.
Commissioner LeConte.
I have a couple of comments here. It's unfathomable to me how a Colossus worldwide organization needs to reconfigure a parking lot. It's amazing. And Amazon must have at least 1,000 of these e-posts throughout the United States, and they can't figure out how to get their trucks in and out of a place. I just can't understand it. This is the unintended consequences of having a timeline for passing an application, and it puts us under great stress. And the 60-minute drive, to me, I don't know, I can be in New York City in 60 minutes, I can be in New Haven, Danbury, and Waterbury. That's quite an area to cover on a 60-minute drive. I don't think this place is big enough. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner LeConte. Commissioner Corey.
I approve. I have no problems.
Thank you. Attorney Rizzio, do you want to speak to Commissioner LeConte's comment, observation?
Sure. The difference in this proposal is that we moved into a building that was pre-existing. So when Amazon builds the site from the ground up and has the ability to really properly control, a virgin site versus working with an existing building that's already built and no changes. So sometimes, for example, if this building came down and Amazon built it, they'd have this all laid out. They did the best they could to get the optimum amount of optimum and safest traffic flow by design, but however, sometimes you don't realize until things are actually come into play where things come and go. This has been active, as you notice, a lot with a lot of drive-throughs as projects develop. We're practice in planning versus the reality. Sometimes you don't understand until things are really put into use. All in all, this is a plus. I respect Mr. LeConte's comments, and I truly believe if this was a new structure built from the ground up, you wouldn't be seeing us here. But when you're working through existing curb cuts, working through existing traffic flows on a old site that has a new use, sometimes these things don't get ironed out until they're put into play. And that's really the only, everybody clearly believes that this is, even Mr. DeQuilla, Commissioner DeQuilla, which I am very happy to say, believe that this is a good improvement to the site. We appreciate your patience and allow us to come back before you again to improve the site. And with all that, I respectfully, would ask this commission to grant this application. I think it's in everybody's best interest. And if Amazon along the way, like they do in everything else, sees any better way to improve their safety and improve their effectiveness, they will do so. I think that's the nice thing. They'll spend the money and they'll spend the time to make sure things are done correctly versus having a situation down on that lower Spring Hill Road where vans are coming in, and because of the uncontrolled traffic and the conflicting of traffic on site, something could possibly extend off site. So the key there was to making sure that our traffic, internal traffic, doesn't have any effect on the external traffic. And with that, I conclude our presentation.
Thank you, Attorney Rizzio. So yeah, I tend to agree with that it's better to come back, and we appreciate that you came back and that you're, we've all seen plenty of applications where the traffic didn't flow in the exact way that we all anticipated. And so it's good to be attempting to get it right on the front end. So we appreciate that. Let's go to the public. Is there anybody from the public to speak in favor or in opposition to this application? Bill, anybody there?
Nobody has their hand up to speak.
All right. Silently count to 5. Okay, so with no one apparently wanting to speak in favor or in opposition, I will entertain a motion to close the hearing.
Move to close the hearing.
Commissioner DeQuilla indicated it verbally, Commissioner Corey, so we'll go with that. Do you want to second it?
I'll second the motion.
Thank you. Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Now let's do a vote to close the hearing, starting with Commissioner DeQuilla.
DeQuilla votes yes.
Commissioner Prush.
Prush votes yes.
Commissioner LeConte.
Yes.
Commissioner Corey.
Yes.
Commissioner Silber, I vote yes to close the hearing. So the hearing is officially closed. And now I will entertain a motion to approve the application as described, keeping in mind that it meets the approval of the town zoning regulations and the town planner and the town traffic authority, the police commission. And with that in mind, I'll ask for a motion.
DeQuilla moves to approve the application.
Corey seconds it.
Commissioner Corey seconds it. We have a motion and a second. And so we'll do a vote to approve the application as submitted.
DeQuilla approves the application.
Commissioner Prush.
Prush votes yes.
Commissioner LeConte.
Oh, yes.
Commissioner Corey.
Vote yes.
Commissioner Silber, I vote yes as well. The application is approved 5-0, and congratulations.
Folks, thanks for your time. It was a pleasure being before you on Zoom. And if all our meetings go like this, you've been in good shape. Great job, Tony. And thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Attorney Rizzio. At this point, I do not believe we have any additional business, but I'll ask the town planner whether there's anything else that he wants to bring up or talk about.
Do we have to approve some minutes, or is this a special?
Oh, we do have to approve minutes. You're right. Sorry about that. Yes. Okay, we have the minutes of the August 19th meeting, August 19th, 2020. That was our regular meeting from that day, the Wednesday, the 19th. And I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes for that meeting.
Motion to approve.
Second. DeQuilla says second.
LaConte makes the motion and DeQuilla seconds it. Commissioner DeQuilla. This is the vote.
Oh, DeQuilla votes yes.
Commissioner Prush.
Prush votes yes.
Commissioner LaConte.
LaConte votes yes.
Commissioner Corey.
Yes.
And Commissioner Silber, I vote yes as well. Sorry, folks, I was just looking to make sure all of us who are voting were actually there. Okay, now we vote to approve the minutes of the special meeting on Wednesday, August 26th, 2020. And that was a video conference meeting. And let's see, we were all there, Prush, Corey, LaConte, DeQuilla, and me. I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of August 26th.
Motion to approve.
LaConte motions,
DeQuilla says second.
DeQuilla seconds. Commissioner DeQuilla on the vote.
DeQuilla says yes.
Commissioner Prush.
Prush says yes.
Commissioner LaConte.
LaConte says yes.
Commissioner Corey.
Yes.
Commissioner Silber, I say yes as well. Those are approved. And just as part of our packet, we did get a newsletter on the Connecticut Federation of Planning and Zoning Agencies, the quarterly newsletter. We appreciate that. I guess that came from Linda or Rob. So thanks very much. It's always good to have this, get in the stream of zoning related issues and professional zoning circles. So we do appreciate that. Now, I think we have no further business. Am I right, Commissioner? Ms. Town Planner?
Just one thing, Commissioner.
Yes, sir. Commissioner LaConte.
They have something at the end of that page where we can have somebody come in and tutor us basically about the new rules and regulations that have been going on. It may not be a bad idea to investigate whether we do need it or not.
Yeah, no, that's a great point, and I appreciate that you bring it up. That's something we probably ought to talk over with the planner and look at the budget and all those things. But to the larger point is, land use training for volunteer commissioners is a really good thing. Anything to add on that, Town Planner LaBrandy?
Yeah, we'd probably have to, I'll give them a call and see if we could do it via Zoom, maybe. And then maybe throw out some dates to see if this is possible or not. But
Yeah.
It's definitely important. It's definitely something to do.
I mean, even on an ongoing basis, when this pandemic is over, it's even then, it's just always a good thing to, maybe a couple of times a year for us to sort of refresh ourselves on these, on land use.
Sure.
And doing it on a Zoom would probably be easier for everybody. To get everybody together and, start trying to have everybody go to one spot,
Yes, that's true. Although we're, on the other hand, and I don't mean to play devil's advocate over here, but I know I'm speaking for myself, I'm zoomed out. But,
It's the lesser of the two evils.
That's right. That's right. That's right. So anyway, thanks for that observation. Anything else?
No, nothing at this
Move
time.
to close the meeting.
Town Attorney Cordon, is there anything that we're missing here?
No, sir. Good job tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so we have a motion to close the meeting from Commissioner DeQuilla. Do we have a
Second.
Second, is that Commissioner LaConte?
LaConte.
Thank you. Okay, we'll do the vote. Commissioner DeQuilla.
DeQuilla votes yes.
Close the meeting. Commissioner Prush.
Prush votes yes.
Commissioner LaConte.
LaConte votes yes.
Commissioner Corey.
Yes.
Commissioner Corey votes yes to close the meeting, and I do too, so it's 5-0. Have a great night, folks.
Great job, Mr.
Thanks, Tony.
Chairman and Mr. Chen.
Thank
you.
Thank you. As always,
Thank
Mr. Chin. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mr.
Thank you,
Chair-
Bill.